you have no experience of that. You're not a mother, right? But I read somewhere that you and your mom and your sister lived in L.A. in a small place. Because it wasn't as small as room, I'm assuming.
No, I think it was probably, I mean, it's tough to remember because I was like 7, so space is hard to, spatialization is weird at 7.
But it didn't seem confined?
It was small.
Yeah.
It was small in its size. It was small enough that there was no room for a bed. The bed was like a Murphy bed. It came out of the wall, and if the bed was down, then there was no room for anything else. And we had like a couple pieces of clothing each, and I think my sister and I each had like a toy.
A toy?
Yeah, and we lived off of like instant noodles and like cans of beans, like very cheap, simple things. But I never felt like I was lacking in any way. Like it's the time that we still look back on it as the time of our lives. I felt so much freedom. My mom was not working. She was just our mom, so I had her all to myself. And my mom has an incredible imagination, and so everything was a game. Everything. And the Murphy bed popped up, and there was a mirror on the back of it. And the mirror was so cool because I could like dance and I could see myself, and we could bounce around on the bed. The whole floor was a trampoline. Like there was so much to it that I really felt like I was the luckiest kid in the world. And there was one memory part of it though, that I hadn't remembered until right before we started shooting Room, which was the memory of the 3 of us. Me and my sister was about 3 or 4. Me and my little sister and my mom, we would all sleep in that bed. And I remembered waking up, hearing my mom in these choking sobs, and she was covering her mouth so we wouldn't hear. And I knew that I wasn't supposed to hear it and that I wasn't supposed to talk about it. And I never brought it up to her until I remembered this about, a month before shooting. And we started talking, and I started piecing it all together and realized that what had gone down was my dad had asked for a divorce, and so my mom had packed up the car we had in Sacramento, and we drove the 6 hours to Los Angeles with like a couple grand in my mom's pocket and a couple of things. And I had a dream of being an actor, and my mom was like, let's see what happens. But she was completely refiguring her life, creating a new identity for herself, trying to understand who she was now, what this life was going to be like outside of the life that she knew. Meanwhile, she was creating this world of absolute fun and imagination, in a world that I never had any idea that anything sort of dark was happening.